So this is a SOG Power Pint, and I like this, and I really wanted to like this even more than what it is, just because of the size. You know, here it is compared to the Leatherman Wingman, and the reason, why is the weight too. This is, I think it's 4.2 ounces. Here's a full-size Leatherman Wingman, 6.8. So when this is in your pocket, you know it's in your pocket. When this is in your pocket, you forget it's there, which makes this something you would actually carry every day. I carry a multi-tool usually only at work. I don't carry them anywhere else because they're too big, bulky, and they're a pain in the butt to stick in your pocket, and I don't like sheaths to wear on my belt and look like a goober. So I saw the size of this and I thought, wow, this is probably going to be the one for me. And it's so close, but it has some faults to it. And one of the big ones right off the giddy up was there's no flathead screwdrivers. Like, come on, SOG, how could you make a multi-tool with no flathead screwdriver? Electrical panels, prying stuff, I mean, come on. Now, the nice feature about this is it does have this end here where you can use this as a driver. So technically, yeah, you could, have a flathead bit that you could put in here. But there's nowhere on the tool to carry this. And there's nobody that makes a Kydex sheath or anything that you can carry the extra bits. So what good is it having this if you're not going to carry the bit to go in there? Now, regarding this, the way this works is there's a magnet in there. I don't know if you can see it. So it kind of does have some retention, but the way that it really works is when you squeeze this, it's not coming out. As soon as you let off, you can get it out. So I like that. I like that. It's perfect. It's easy to use. It's easy to switch bits. And once you got it in your hand and you're squeezing it, that bit's not going to come out. But wow, they really could have made somehow, some way, even if it wasn't a bit this long, like even a little baby bit that you could store somehow. Because some of the tools they got on here are questionable, But I mean, here's even like a 5/16 driver, that you could use. But granted, you're going to have to carry this somewhere else because it doesn't fit on the bit. So, talking about the size, it's the perfect size in your pocket. You don't know it's there. The way SOG has made this clip, it appears to be a right-handed. If you put it in your right-hand pocket, it's tapered that way to fit in your right-hand pocket. But I think what SOG forgets is most people who are carrying one of these are also carrying a decent blade. So this is not going to go in your right-hand pocket because 95% of the population is right-handed. Your blade's going to be in your right hand. This is going to be in your left side pocket. So it's kind of backwards for me. But it's not a big deal. It's not that noticeable. I still put it in my left side jeans, and it's not a big deal. Another thing is the size of this. Like compared to the Leatherman, I guess one of the smaller Leathermans, where you could actually put it on a keychain. It's kind of that happy medium. It's too big for a keychain, but it's perfect to carry every day in your pocket, even in a pair of shorts, because it's so light and so small. But the one nice thing I like about this is they do give you the little option here. If you want to put a key ring on here, you can. That's a nice touch. I like that. So, okay, let's talk about the pliers. The way they have this set up with this linkage here is very unique, because what it does is it shifts your leverage point. Instead of being on the pivot, you're moving it back a little bit. So that gives you the ability to really, really put some pressure on this. I mean, you can really crimp on this harder than you can a regular multi-tool because of this link. But this link creates another set of weird issues, and that being like, but the thing about it is, I thought I was going to be able to do and do this with one hand. You can't. It doesn't work like that. You might be able to open it with one hand, but the problem is when you go to flip it closed, the pliers hit your fingers. And it's not like a regular Leatherman where this side will break free and close and you can shut it, like this. you know, you hit your finger here, but this side still closes, and then you can grab it. You can't do that with this because of the way this linkage is. So it's a little bit different to open and close it, and it's not one of those one-handed things. And what I was really looking for was a one-handed thing, because I'll give it to Leatherman. Leatherman used to make one called the side clip, and it was very minimal, very thin, had like blades, couple screwdrivers in it, cheap knife, but you could whip it open with one hand. Leatherman doesn't make that anymore. I use that because I'm MIG welding all the time, so you need wire cutters. And I had that Leatherman side clip probably for about 10 years before it finally broke. And it broke like right here. And Leatherman's good. You know, their guarantee is for life. So I sent it back to them. I was like, look, I broke your side clip. You know, it's a lifetime guarantee. So since they don't make the side clip anymore, they sent me the Wingman. This is not comparable to what I had, and I don't know. It's just not. It's one of the cheaper Leathermans, so I guess I can't really complain on it too much. I did get it for free, but it's heavy and it's long. And sometimes when you sit down, you know, you feel this in your pocket. So when I saw the size of this, I was like, I like this. Maybe this is going to be the thing for it. But just a couple things about it. I like the fact that you can access all the tools from the outside. You don't have to open this knife or this multi-tool to get to the tools inside, because they're not. They're on the outside. And what it allowed them to do is put this plastic piece here that gives you a much better feel on your hands than just metal edges. And this also acts as the release to let the tools go, so that when you open something, it'll lock in. Now here we got the scissors. Pretty decent. They're a little bit weird because they almost look like they're made for a left-handed person because of the way you... But they still work right-handed. They still cut. You could still trim your nails with them, which is probably what most people do. But to get this back in, because all these tools lock, you have to push this button to unlock this. Otherwise, it's locked in place. But you can also get this unlocked by just prying up another tool. As soon as you pry up another tool, the leverage forces that open. So that's another way you can do it. So the scissors are good. I like the scissors. They're okay. This and this. You got a bottle opener and a can opener. Why? Why, SOG? Make one good one. You don't need two. You can free up the space for something else. The old side clip I had an awesome can opener that I used all the time on the old cans, and it worked as a bottle opener, and I don't need two tools. The little Phillips head, nice touch. I like that. Sometimes, you know, a really, really small Phillips head, nice to have. So, this. Most people are never going to use this stupid thing. And it's going to be sharp because it's serrated, and if you want to cut seat belts or something, that's fine. But it's like redundant. You have this, and then you also have this knife over here, which is garbage. It's not sharp. It's probably some cheap 420, I don't know what the heck kind of steel they use, but it's got a nice shape to it. You can really, you know, get into something. But most people, they don't use the knives on these multi-tools. But I mean, if you sell a multi-tool without a knife, everybody's gonna be like, why would I buy this multi-tool? It doesn't have a knife on it. Junk knives. I just think that there could be a better use of the tool, because you don't have a lot of space on these things. So the awl, never going to use that. The mini screwdriver, I like it. It doesn't work on all sunglasses, but it will work on a lot of them. So you got that. You got these other two here. They call this a hook cutter. Most people use it as a box opener. Most people aren't going to use it at all. I'm never going to use this. The file is nice because, you know, like I said, most people are carrying a blade besides these multi-tools. This file has edges here double cut on this side, different cut on this side. I don't know what this thing is for, but yeah, I could use this. If you had to sharpen your other knife with this, you could do that. The flat screwdriver thing, the big flat screwdriver thing, they should get rid of some of this like redundant bottle openers and just give me a flat screwdriver, for crying out loud. You also have a crimper here where you can crimp on fittings for wire. That's a nice touch. I like that. Now, as far as the pliers go, very nice lockup. I mean, these things are so tight. You could pull hairs out with these things like tweezers. They're really, really good. But because it's a small tool, you know, here's a 1/4 inch. There's a 1/4 inch nut. That's about as big as you're going to go, maybe 5/16. If you try and go 1/2 inch, you see how big, how wide that is. You're not going to be able to, I mean, it's just, it's a little much for this. And it's kind of sad because, you know, most stuff that you're going to find industrial size is going to be like 9/16, so it's going to be even a little bigger than this 1/2 inch. So yeah, it's definitely not going to work for that. Whereas, you know, having a bigger multi-tool, you know, I can get more leverage on that. Not much more, but a little bit more. The one thing I do like about this, and one of the reasons I bought it, is because as a MIG welder, you're always going to be cutting wire. And, you know, this is not the best, but it does it. It doesn't do it as good as the Leatherman, but you can see, I don't know if this camera will pick it up, but you can see there's some serrations already. This is very soft metal. They could have done a higher quality steel in here to do this, because the one reason I hate the Leatherman wire cutters is because of that hole they put in there. When you're working and you just want to cut your wire, you go all the way in, it's not going to cut it because it goes in that stupid hole. I don't know why, you know, somebody doesn't make one of these pliers, one of these multi-tools for MIG welders, because MIG welders always have to have wire cutters. You always have to have pliers so you can take your tips out, so you can clean all the gunk out of you, all the slag out of your tips. It's just, it seems like all these multi-tool manufacturers are missing a huge market by not going after the MIG welders and what MIG welders would want. And what MIG welders want is something they can pull out of their pocket fast, flip it open, cut some wire, clean their tip, flip it back and put it in their pocket. It's the widest point, you're looking about like 3/4, about 3 1/4 long. And it's just, yeah, it's just very nice to carry. Like I said, I don't carry multi-tools. I might start carrying this one just because of the size and the weight. It's so nice. But yeah, you know what I would have really liked to have in here was a saw. You know, get rid of some of these redundant bottle openers. Make one good bottle opener. Give me a flat tip screwdriver. Give me a saw. Make this out of at least 8CR13 MOV, something that's cheap, but it's still easily to sharpen and is actually functional. This is garbage. I don't even know what this is. Make it a little thicker, maybe. And, yeah, that would make me happy. This thing would be perfect, almost. But, yeah, maybe even, you know, make a space with an internal clip, you know, that you could clip in an extra bit, because if this is something you're using frequently, you know, whether it be Phillips or regular, boy, that'd be so nice to have, because this is really, I like the way this works. This is a solid lockup. This is almost like a regular screwdriver, you know. So, but yeah, you know, when these first came out, I think they were $50, and now they've dropped the price on them so much. They're going for, I don't know, around like $35, $39, something like that. And at that, it's a good deal. If I paid $50 for that, I'd have been very disappointed when I got it. But as a MIG welder, when you're, and look at this, these ones don't even touch. There's a gap in there. But I think these were made out of a better steel, because I've been using these for a while and they're not dented. Whereas The SOG ones are dented. So you're definitely getting a compromise on some cheaper materials here. The design is good though, but just a few little tweaks and then this thing could be awesome. So SOG, if you're listening, do something close to this. Make it for MIG welders. We buy a ton of them.